Hello, folks. It's 3 o'clock here in sunny Central Florida, home of Disney, Mickey Mouse. I live about 45 minutes from the mouse, and let me tell you, the effect of the mouse is everywhere. So, today we're going to talk about messaging. If you didn't see it while you were on here live with me, and you have comments or you have questions, always feel free to reach out to me about anything from business development, ghostwriting, branding, marketing, all the crazy stuff that we do here at Longbar Creative Solutions. I'm the vice president and kind of more or less the CEO in some ways of the company. So our president is Cindy Long. I am Barkowski, Lil Barkowski, therefore Long Bar. The two things conglomerate, kind of stuck together. Longbar Creative Solutions is a full service business development company. So what we basically do is we work with companies that are either getting started, like brand new startups. We have a couple of young men who are building a new renovations company, indoor and outdoor. That's a great example. So they're going to be looking for everything from our guidance on how to get their business underway, how to market themselves, how to reach out, how to network. And then, of course, they need all the deliverables. So we help them put their messaging together. We're also going to be doing their branding in every possible way, their logo, their website, their social media. We're going to set it all up. So that's kind of an example of a company that we work with. And I am personally in charge of the web division and all of the ghostwriting capabilities. So we do have people who ghostwrite with me, who write blogs, and we're working on adding books. And then, of course, we do a lot of that. We do new book writers. I write most of the books right now. We're bringing on new writers, and we're training them. So that's really cool. We do publish books as well, and we do every full service branding. So look, Katie's here, honing in. All right, so Caitlin's here, and she'll be able to answer some of your questions if I don't see them right away. I know some other people are joining us today. We expect to see a few of them. So let's talk a little bit about what today's subject matter is. Today we're talking about your messaging. Any of you watched last week, you know that we were talking a lot about authenticity. And that's a big play into what we're going to talk about today because when you talk about your messaging, if you're not authentically you, your message is going to come across as inauthentic, as not something directly coming from you. Part of what you want to talk about with your messaging is your tagline. So that's one of the first things. If you don't have a tagline and you don't actually know what that means, I'm going to give you hours. I'm going to read hours to you. So give me a second while I do that. And this is it's real simple. It could be something I had a friend who had a great tagline. She was, and she still is actually. She's a travel agent, although I don't know how much traveling anyone's doing these days. But her tagline was "Friends don't let friends book online," because she would help you actually book a real trip instead of you go on Priceline and you pick a hotel and she would actually work on getting you really unique vacations or make sure you got the right pricing and got the best airline tickets and you got everything you needed. So that was a great tagline, because you don't want your friends to go to her instead, right? So we have a really simple tagline. Ours is very simply, we don't just consult, we deliver. And the reason we have that as a tagline is because most consulting firms like ours who come in and consult with a business that's either starting or a business that's like they're here and then they want to go here, they come in and they work with you and they do a lot of what we do. And I have great companions that who do Kimberly Ward, terrific at that kind of thing, helping you just figure that out. But then she'll come to us for the deliverables. So when I say deliverables, I mean things like your logo, your branding, messaging, what your taglines are going to be, and the actual hardcore stuff, like really having the right website, the right way, and of course, your look, your colors, all those things. We can deliver all that. We also set up social media. We set up Caitlin, who's my assistant, is on right now. Is fantastic with editing your videos. You do a Zoom you've got a Zoom thing, and now what are you going to do with it? Well, she can create what we call bumpers, beginnings and endings of the videos. She can create promotions for those videos, for your podcasts, for your live videos, for things you're going to put on YouTube. And wonderful thing to have YouTube. So basically, across the board, we do a little bit. So using the word deliver in my tagline leads us into what we do, right? We don't just consult, we deliver. And we do. We deliver great consultation and all that. So you want that to be part of what you're talking about. When you have a tagline, it should reflect that's a big part of your messaging, is something you can say at a networking meeting. These days we're not networking a whole lot in person, but we will be again. And some people are beginning to do that again as we start to slowly see where we stand with the virus and all the things that have been happening to us. But we've learned a really interesting lesson, and that is that we can do our messaging right here, on Facebook, on social media, on Zooms. Jesus, hands up if you wish you had put in stock to Zoom a year ago. It's been making money hand over fist, and well deserved. They've had some glitches and some problems, but pretty much a great program. So now you can go on meetings. Driven this year was by Suzanne Evans, was all virtual. Her next speaking event, which is in November, if you haven't signed up for that, you really should. It's fantastic, all online. So you can bring your message now to the public in a different way than you ever did before. And the good and the bad of that is that now we're looking at each other's heads. We're like, hello, we're like right here. Whereas before we might be sitting, if we are the shy guy, we might sit in the back of the room and sit with friends and all that. So now you're on, you're really up front and center when you're online this way. So I think the thing to do is to really hone in on what your authentic message is. So there's a couple of points to that. As I said, the first one is to be true to yourself. Your messaging is going to cross over in terms of what you're just your branding alone. People think branding is colors and logos. It is. I mean, that's a lot of what your branding is, but it also is about how you um, express yourself verbally and text, et cetera, et cetera. So everything you do, if you write a speech, if you're a speech person, you can pull all their messaging out of there and utilize it in different ways. If you write blogs, or if you have a book, like we write a lot of books, a lot of what you want the world to know is in that book. You can pull it apart and use it for blogs and things like that. I'm actually going to do a workshop on that with some a company that asked me to do a workshop on that. But let's talk about some of the points that really matter when we talk about messaging. Look, Daisy's here. Hello, Daisy. We're talking about messaging days. So there's maybe kind of, I like to think there's 3 or 4 key points that you have to know about messaging, right? So my tagline is, we don't just consult, we deliver. But if I had to do a very, very quick, I'm on an elevator, I've got one floor to tell somebody what we do. I have a long and a short version of that. The short version of that is, Longbar Creative Solutions is unlike most other business development teams because we don't just offer advice. Our web and graphic designers, writers, and project managers will help you define your point of view, hone your message, and create deliverables to take you to the next level. That's a short one. I can say that in, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, however long that took. If I have a little bit more time, I want to put this on Facebook, I want to put it somewhere. A little bit longer version of that is, Longbar Creative Solutions is unlike most other business development teams because we don't just offer sage advice and counseling. Once we define your point of view and hone your messaging, we create the deliverables that will take you from where you are to where you want to be. Our full staff of web and graphic designers, writers, and project managers will help you become the business you are meant to be. And that's kind of what we want. We want people to know what we do, right? So the most important thing is, I think a lot of people feel like they're not being seen. We all, I always say the human condition is such that this sums it up. Everybody wants to be seen, and we are all petrified that we will be seen. That is the paradox of human nature. Nobody wants to go unnoticed, but at the same time, we're scared to death. If somebody sees us, oh my God, they're going to want stuff from us. They're going to expect things of us. So your messaging has to be very clear because, yes, people are going to expect things of you. If you start to, if you get out there in the world with a business, if you're a new business owner and you're watching this later, or some of you are new business owners, the best thing you can be is seen. People want to see you. They want to find you. You want that for yourself. But once you are seen, you have to be ready to deliver. You have to be ready to know what your message is, what you're going to give to people. So we all want to be seen, and lots of people feel like they're not. So you want to make concise statements like I just made, a set of statements that describes what you do, your point of view. We want to take businesses to the next level. We want to help them with our sage advice. And at the same time, we also want to deliver those things that will hold up under our sage advice. Sage advice is great. I can give that all day long. What do you want to talk about? Pick a subject. We'll talk about anything at all. And I'll probably give you some bullshit sage advice. Some of it will be great. But that doesn't give you the mechanics of what you need. So for us, our company doesn't just consult, we deliver. and that's important. And that you have to know that, like, what is it you're trying to do, right? Um, you want to really have that, take a stand, be serious about it. Don't be afraid to piss people off. There's going to be people that maybe don't like what you do or don't believe in what you do. And I even think some consultants might say that we're not really a consulting company because we're busy making websites. And there are website companies that think that they could do a better job because that's all they do. I don't agree. I think that we're a company that can do all of that for you. And sometimes it sounds like a lot, but we have employees and staff that are fantastic. So stand behind what you're saying. Just do that. So think about that. Make sure that you are being very, very genuine, and that you know what you are. Oh, see, Daisy says she wants to be seen but petrified. Yep. Yeah. And Daisy, you're great at this. I love that Daisy puts herself out there. I mean, any of you haven't friended Daisy, when you go to watch this later, Daisy Abercorn, friend her, get to know her. She puts herself out, pictures of herself. Look at me, this is who I am. She's very clear. I'm a rock star. She knows she's a rock star, all that stuff. That's great. But, you also, I know that part of that is the fear of, oh no, I'm being noticed. No. So your message has to be really from your heart. It has to be from your authentic self. This is what I really believe. I believe in what I'm saying. And then you got to get other people to believe with you. And that's the hard part. You got to get ambassadors. You got to get people who are going to, you know, just be your champion. And if you get a couple clients, you got to have the guts to ask them to be your champion, to say, this is a great thing we're doing. I'll give you a fantastic example. We are right now in the middle, Caitlin and I are in the middle of marketing the latest book I worked on. And I worked on a book with a gentleman named Ziz Abdurrauf. And Ziz was an NFL football player back in the day. He's been a yoga instructor. He's a coach. He's a brilliant guy and a wonderful guy. And we wrote a book called Accelerate. And the tagline for that, or the subtitle of that, is Playbook for Young Dreamers, Scholars, Artists, and Athletes. And we're aiming at really 12 to 16, more or less, going into high school or in high school and struggling and thinking about what they want to be when they grow up. You know what I mean? So we really had to hone in our messaging. What is it we're talking about? We knew who our audience was. And that's a big thing. If you're going to have a message, you got to know who you're talking to. Who's going to actually listen to you? And we'll talk at a later Zoom. I'll definitely talk about your avatar and what that means. But you need to know who very precisely you're speaking to and who you want to listen and pay attention to you, so that you can then give the proper messaging. You can create the proper messaging and create ambassadors. So we, like for the book, and the reason I brought the book up is, A, I want you to buy the book. I want everybody to buy the book. But we need ambassadors like Daisy, who's going to go out and talk to people, and Caitlin is out, and Ziz has a ton of ambassadors. Having played football at the NFL, obviously knows a lot of people. We have some terrific endorsements from really big people that have nine-time best-selling authors who are waiting on an endorsement from a big football player, women's and mothers group, people who know him well from the coaching and all the things he's done, and me as well. So you want to create that excitement around who you are with your message, and then get people to go out and talk about that message. You want them to be your champion, to be your ambassador, to say, yep, I believe in what they're doing, and it is great, and I got to get on board. You got to get on board too. And you can't be afraid to ask. That goes back to being afraid to be seen. So if you're not afraid to be seen, then you're good. And you yourself, you have to be excited yourself about what you do. I love what we do. I'm excited about what we do. I think Caitlin's excited about what we do. Daisy's excited about what she does. Most of our clients, they're really excited. I have a woman, one of our clients that cured herself of cancer. They told her, get your shit together. You got a couple of years to live. That was 10, 15 years ago. She said, no, not going to do that. And she got raw diet. She did all this stuff. And now she's a coach herself. And she's so excited about helping other people. Helping other people. Anything and everything you do, I don't care what it is you do. I don't care if you're a carpenter, a shoemaker, I don't care what it is you do. If you are in it to help other people and you're only in it to make money, this is where sometimes I hate to say, medical professionals, law professionals make that mistake. Kids go, we have a whole thing in the chapter in the book about this with the kids, about not becoming a doctor because you think you're going to be rich. They become a doctor because you're going to help people. And if you make good money, great. That's terrific. Money's great. I love money. I'm all in. But you have to be excited about the things that you do. And you have to express that excitement to other people. I love working with clients. My favorite food channel TV show is Restaurant Impossible. We have a group on Facebook called Business Impossible because of it. Because Chef Irvine's my hero. I was a chef years ago. And he goes in, like I say, he goes in and he fixes the business, the people, not the restaurant. The food doesn't matter. People eat whatever, they don't care. But, and that's part of it. You know, obviously, if you don't have a good product, but you have to be as enthusiastic about that, what you do, and be excited about what you do, or people aren't going to be excited with you. Acting, bands, both of our young ladies online right at the moment that I talk to all the time, they're both musicians. And I think they'll tell you, if you get up on stage to be a musician and you are you play guitar and you're strumming and you're standing there, nobody cares. It's not going to be exciting for the audience. When you're excited and you dance around and jump around like these two do, you know, go watch a Randy show. Holy crap! You know, Caitlin's up and running around and she's jumping. And she's got the headset on. You got to get people excited. Just like if you're in a band, be a rock star at what you do. If you're not a rock star about carpentry, if you're excited about being our young carpenters we're working with, they're so excited about building outdoor kitchens. They're going to build me an outdoor kitchen. I love that. I'm excited, but they're excited about what they do. And if you're excited, other people will be excited and they will become ambassadors and they will tell the whole world, oh my God, I got this amazing outdoor kitchen built by Austin and Edison. They're phenomenal. They build that one kitchen, I'm going to be their ambassador because I'm going to get to cook outside in summer and winter, and I love it. So we tell everybody how great it is, and I will be so excited to tell people what a wonderful job they're doing, right? And they're already doing some work for me here at the house. So that's a big thing. Try to be a trendsetter. Don't be afraid to try something different. Don't be afraid to do something nobody else is doing. If you got something different, no matter what it is, you be the one that nobody else can touch and talk to those people with your messaging that you're creating something new and exciting. That's going to be a winner. That's going to get you far past the next guy. You know, everybody's on a track. We're all running around on this track, you know. And if you start a new business, there are people on the track who are doing the same thing you're doing. But a lot of them have gone just so far and they're either moseying along really slowly or they haven't tried anything new, they haven't created a new website or they haven't created a new product or done anything different. There may be a coach or there may be a carpenter, whatever it might be, but they haven't thought to do something out of the box. And they're just as far as they're going to get on the track, and they're kind of either sitting down on the edge drinking a bottle of water or they're trugging along on hands and knees. And if you are a trendsetter, you will pass them up so fast, you know, it won't be believable how quickly you'll go right by them, right past them. So don't be afraid to try something no one else has done. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to fail? Oh, big freaking well. Who cares? Everybody fails. Failure is good. Failure is how you learn. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to be a trendsetter. And last, and I think this is the most important thing, speak very directly to your audience. Don't dance around it. Don't try to be fluffy or, you know, you'll hear, I will curse. My mentor, Suzanne Evans, curses a great deal. She's one of my mentors. One of my other mentors that I watch consistently is Kyle Cease. I tell you that all the time. Kyle makes jokes. He was a comedian. He was a stand-up comic, and he said, "This is bullshit. I'm not helping anybody by being a stand-up comic. What can I do to take what I do on the stages and help people?" And he does amazing things with people. But he's not afraid to be who he is and to speak directly to people. And if he pisses anybody off, or he says a joke that's off color, or if that's who he is, that's who he is. And you have to do the same thing. I see Daisy has said, yes, get excited about what you do. Yeah, and that's the thing. Be excited about what you do. Be genuinely authentic. Try to tack in, like, when you're doing your messaging, when you're writing your messages out, when you do your tagline, try to make sure that you can say something like, we don't just consult, we deliver, or friends don't let friends book online. Make sure that that tagline is something people can easily remember and that says what you do and that really, really speaks to the people that you want to be your champions. And here's a big thing: be other people's champions. This is not about messaging now, this is about business and about life. If you see another business is doing well, tell everybody. If you are using their services and you love it, tell everybody. Refer other people. Don't be afraid to give up a part of your business to someone else. If we have lots of web developers we work with, we have lots of writers we work with, we have other publishers we work with. There are things they do that we don't do. Sometimes they do exactly what we do, but they do it a little bit differently. They're not your competition. They're part of your team. Make them part of your team. And when you share your message in such a way that you welcome people, you have people know that you're excited about what you do, get excited about what they do. Make sure that if you don't like what they do, don't. If you think somebody's a terrible business person or that you don't like the product, don't sell it. Don't bash it. None of your freaking business to bash someone else's business. Not a good idea. Bad karma, right? But good karma is to take and find the people who you believe are great and then be their ambassadors and then ask them to do the same. Take my message to the world and I'll take your message to the world and we'll share our messages and we'll combine our messages. Find shoulder industries that do similar things to what you do. If you're a coach, but you don't coach men, you like to coach women, or you don't coach women, you like to coach men, whatever it is, combine your services. We have a client who does financial planning in a way that very unusual way, and the businesses that he is bringing in are mostly high end businesses. They need somebody to take them to the next level, get angel investors, and go. They need all of our services. I don't do that, and of course that my clients, as they're growing now, they need that. So I'll be his champion, he'll be mine, right? He'll have my message down. This is what Lil's going to come in here, consult and deliver, consult and deliver. Bring it, bring it on, brother. That's the way to do it. So if you can do all that and you can figure out what your message is, I think you'll be all right. So it is 3:24. I've spoken for about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to do this every Thursday, even if it's just me and the girls, but hopefully people will watch this later when they have more time. I'm off to Tarpon Springs and going to go down there and spend a little time in the sun for a day. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Thursday. We'll announce what the topic will be. But if you've got a topic in mind and you watch this video later on, Daisy, this includes you too. If there's something you'd like me to talk about or something that you feel like you could learn from me, I know a lot of stuff. So I'm always willing to share the stuff I know. So please, by all means, let us know in the chat box or email or message me or what have you, Facebook message me, shoot me a text. I don't care, smoke signal, something like that. And tell me what you'd like to learn about, what you'd like to talk about, what we can share. All right. Have a great weekend, and I appreciate you all. Peace out.